Hello guys, welcome to Data Tutorials. So in today's video, we will see the design and development of this beautiful dashboard in Tableau software. So our today's topic is sales dashboard, and we will see the overview of this complete data which we are having. And the data which we will be using, it is an Excel sheet and it is a demo data. We are not using any original data of any of the company or any of organization. So this is just for practice, and this type of the design, or what we can say, the idea of the dashboard, or what we can say, that we have a button over here. And so by using this button, if when I click on this particular button, so you can see I go to the light background of this particular dashboard, and if the user want to see the dark background, so he can also switch back and we can see the dark background. And if he want to see a light background, we can go ahead and see the light background as well, right? So there are two options for like we can say two themes or to this dashboard, whichever user wants to see. All right. Then we have a filter panel over here. So whenever I'm clicking and whenever I'm closing it, it is a hide and show filter panel. So we have a different set of filters over here. So whenever I'm clicking, you can see this dashboard is completely dynamic and it is operating with respect to these filters, right? So by operating these filters, you can see we are getting different values by respect to category. So we have a ship mode as well. So whenever I'm clicking and operating these filters, you can see the values are changing with respect to that. All right. And we have also the region filter here as well. So whenever I'm seeing the data for only three regions, we can see it for three regions, or we want to exclude central, then we can see the data of that particular regions, right? And apart from that, when I close this, we have some action filters operating over here as well. So whenever I'm clicking on any of state, you can see the data of that particular state, right? So whenever I'm clicking on, let's say, California, so you can see we are getting the data for the California over here, right? So in this way, we will be operating this particular dashboard. And also you can see over here, there are monthly sales. So if we want to see another measure, so let's say we want to see it by quantity, so we can see it by different measures and we can get the average value of those, right? We come back to sales, we can see it by profit, right? So these are different filters which we will be using on this dashboard, which is completely dynamic, right? So now let's come to the elements which are present on this dashboard. So if we see, it is smart enough, this dashboard is smart enough with different type of legends which we are using. So in the overhead, like we have a KPI trend overview, we have a KPI values and a trend line for that. Okay, and we can see two trend lines. These are nothing but the sales for current year with respect to the last year, right? So how they are performing by each month, the sales values we can see over here. So for now, I will just hide this. All right. So you can see these are sales value, and apart from that, we have the total sales, and we have this year-on-year increase, right? So with respect to last year, the sales bar increased by how much percentage? And if it is increasing, we will get it will be indicating by this marker, all right? And the legends is shown over here. You can see the 2022 is in yellow color, so it indicates that the line which is in yellow color, it is for current year, that is for the latest year. And we have, this is for previous year, that is a green color line, all right? And we have a 2 points over here which shows the maximum and minimum of that particular current year sales, right? So we can see the maximum month sales was November, and the least sales were done in February, all right? Similarly, the same will be for the other two measures, all right, for profit and the quantity. Then we have this chart. It is a custom map chart. We call it as honeycomb chart. All right. So this is what we can see over here: the sales and profit distribution by state. We can find out which state is maximum selling and which is the least selling state from here. All right. And we have legends for, like, the outer circle indicates the total current year profit, and the the inner, what we can say, the solid circle represents the total current year sales. And then we have legends for this. We have a states above and below the US state average here. This indicates that how many states are above the US sales average, and those are how many are below this US sales average. So we can see 30 are above and 17 are below. And similarly, sorry, 17 are above and 30 are below. Similarly, here we can say which are above and below the US profit average. So 33 are profitable and 14 are what we can say non-profitable. So here 17 are greater selling states, but those are not giving much profits, right? Then we have this monthly sales by segment, for which we have these three different what we can say customer segments like consumer, corporate, and home office. And we have average sales for that particular what we can say year, like that is for current year we are showing this sales. And the peak sales which we have here is indicated for that particular month. We can see in November we have a peak sales. Here we have, here too we have in December, and here we also have it in October. All right. And then we have the total sales by manager and location. So this is what the complete what we can say overview of the dashboard was. And from this dashboard, what your learnings will be, the first thing will be how to design the dashboard from start to end. Then how to design each and every element, how to design the background of this particular dashboard, which will be designed in what we can say PowerPoint. So that I will make a separate video for that. But for now, I will be sharing you the backgrounds in the description box. Then we will see how to use these color combinations. Also, we will see how to design each and every element, what formulas, different custom formulas will be used here. Like some basics formulas, like year to date, current year sales, last year sales. Then we will be using some window functions. Also, we will be using LODs. All right, so this will be a complete tutorial for you. So I request you, or I recommend you to follow with me, and we can, it will be easy for you to replicate as well, and you will be learning a lot from this video. So before starting, I request you all, this dashboard making takes a lot of effort, guys. So I just recommend or request you to share it with your friends. And if you have enjoyed, if you have learned something, like the video, subscribe the channel, and let me know in the comments what was your learning experience, or what are improvements in this dashboard that can be done. All right. So before wasting time, we will start the development. So let's take a new sheet and we will start our design. So first thing first, we have to connect to our data. So the data which we are having, it is in the form of Excel sheet. And so let's connect to our data. So there are different types of the connectors which we have in Tableau. So for our practice purpose, I am using flat files. That is, we will be using a Excel file. But whenever you will be working on actual, what we can say, company or customer data, there will be a databases like we will be having an Amazon or MySQL databases, or Azure SQL databases, or you will be having Teradata or 3D Cube data sources, Oracle, MySQL, Postgres. There are different databases are there which will be hosted by your client or by your company. All right. So for now, we will be using an Excel file. So I will click on Excel, and we have a sales data. I will add the description, sorry, the link for you to download in the description box. So I will click here. I will click on open, and the data has been loaded here. So if you see, this is the data of your superstore sales itself, and we have designed our dashboard from that itself, right? And it will be a practice dashboard, as well as you can add it somewhere into your project as well. And if you are working on any domain, that is sales domain, or you're working on retail domain, manufacturing domain, where you want to design a sales data or sales dashboard, this can be an idea for you. You can take ideas from these dashboards as well, right? So here we have different types of data, and as I say, always study the data. If you have studied the data, the 60 or 70% of work is already completed, and the remaining 30% is nothing, but you have to bring different fields, and you have to build your visualization, right? So if you know the data, how it flows from higher level to the lower level, and what are different dimensions, what measures we are using, so it will be easy for you to understand. All right. So now we will take orders first into our data pane, and here which we have is the logical layer. You can see here we are connecting the data by using a relationship noodles, which will be, it will be not joining physically but logically. And when we bring data into visualization from these two particular tables, and the data will be joined over there, right? So it will be not physically connected but logically connected. But we want our joins, right? So when I double click on this particular table, so we go into our physical layer, where we do actual joins like inner join, left join, right join, and outer join, right? And here the data is physically connected, right? Means what? The data will be increased in number of rows as well as in number of columns, right? And we can see actually the values or rows are increased. The next what we will do, we will take the people and we will place it here, and we will be using an inner join. And now you can see Tableau is smart enough to join the fields like from the common columns. So it is taking the region from orders and region people from the people's table. And if you want to change it by, or you want to join it by any other name, like if the two tables are not having any common name, they are named by assigning different names. So here you can select the name, and here you can select the from other table. You can use your join which you want to use. So for now we will be using only the inner join. So now next we will start designing our dashboard. So first thing what we have to design is the KPIs, right? So we will do the systematic way of this particular design. So first what we will do, we will design this particular banner, that is KPI banner, the spark lines, every numbers which we see here, and we will put that into dashboard. One by one we will design and we will try to put it into the dashboard. All right. So I will go to our sheet, and now first thing I will rename this and I will name it as sales KPI. Okay. And now sales KPI, whatever we are showing here, the KPI which we are showing, it is for current year sales, right? So if you see our order date, if I bring order date into visualization, and you can see we have data ranging for 4 years from 19 to 2022, but we want to show it for current year or latest year, so it will be for 2022 itself, right? So now how to find out this current year sales? So for that what we will do, we will write one calculation. So we will write one calculation. I will name it as total current year sales. All right. And here we will be using an if condition, and we will be using a year function. So I will write it as if year of order date is equal to, I will write a LOD maximum year of order date. Then we want sales, and I will end this calculation. All right. And we have some errors here because we need to close our curly braces, right? All right, so now this calculation is valid. So if you can see in this particular calculation, I have used one LOD here, right? So I have used this is by default. If you are using open and close curly braces and direct using an aggregation, by default it is a fixed LOD. All right, and we are not mentioning any dimension, right? So if you are writing fixed and with respect to any dimension like category, subcategory, so it is at level of detail of category or subcategory, but we are not written any calculation or any dimension over here. So it will be taking at total data source level. So like from complete data source, it will be giving us the maximum order date. And if we can see from this particular what we can say function, we will be getting a maximum date, that is maximum year. And you can see in our order date, like we have the maximum year is 2022. So whenever it will match with respect to this, so output of this is 2022, it will match with this and it will give us sales. All right. So I will just click on OK. And if you can see, when I bring it into visualization, you can see I have just double click on sales, this particular, what we can say, the total current year sales, which we have already designed. So when I double click, it is giving us just text value, and for all other things we are getting as a null. All right. So this is what current year sales. The next thing what we will do, we will find out our last year sales. Why? Because we want to find year on year increase, and year on year increase or year on year change is nothing but how much the sales percentage has been increased with respect to last year for current year. All right. So first we will find out total last year sales or previous year sales. I will name it as previous year sales, and we will be using same logic. If year of order date, if year of order date is equal to maximum year of order date. All right, so now this is giving us a function or output as 2022. We want to go 1 year back, right? So it is giving 2022. So we will, to go 1 year back, we will just subtract 1 from here. So it will give us an output for 2022 for this, and -1. So it will give us 2021. And then we want sales, and we will end this. All right. So you can see our calculation is valid. So I will just click on OK, and I will double click on this, and you can see we have got previous year sales, right? So this is giving us current year, and this is giving us last year sales. All right. So now next thing what we will do, I will just clear this sheet, and what we want is, for now we want current year sales. I will bring it the color current year sales over here. And the next thing what we want is, we want year on year increase. So for that I will write a new calculation, and I will name it as year on year sales, right? So the formula which we use for this is sum of So I will be using sum of total current year sales, right? Sum of total current year sales minus sum of total last year sales, that is previous year sales, divided by, so this will be under complete bracket and divided it by total sum of total previous year sales. All right. So this is what a year-on-year sales, we can say a increase in sales with respect to last year. So I will just click on OK, and I will just double click and bring it into visualization. All right. Oops, Control Z. So I will just bring here into text. Okay. So we can see we have got this value. And the next thing, if you see in our dashboard, we are using some different colors, some different fonts, and some different what we can say combination here. So for that, what I will do, what I have already done is I have created a color codes which we will be using for different charts, which we will be designing further. So quickly we will do the same. So for now, I will just hide the title. We don't want title because we will be adding the title. So the heading which we want the for total sales, it will be for Tableau bold of 14, what we can say font. So I will just copy the color code, Control C, and we will be using this. So I will just edit this and I will just enter over here, and we will be using here as total sales. Okay, so now select this total sales and we will change it the color for this. So we have to go in more colors, and here you have to paste your color code. So I will just click on OK, and then we want it as 14 and we should name it as Tableau bold. Okay, and then I will give one space over here, right? So blank space, and for year on year sales, I will just Control X and we want it below. So Control V and one step back. All right. So for the KPI value, that is this value which we'll be using for total sales, we want it as 20 as a font and this as a font color. So I will just Control C and we are using it as Tableau bold and we will be using it as 20. And let's change the color for this as this. All right. So I'll just click OK. So we have got this color, and for this we will be using this as font color, Control C, and 12 and Tableau bold. Okay, so 12 and Tableau bold, and we will be using as this color. Okay, right, apply. Okay, okay, and we will just make it as center and we will make it as entire view. All right. Now what we will do, we will change the formatting of this. So I will just right click here and we will format this and we will change the currency and the unit for this. All right. So we have to go in pane. Okay, remember in pane, and then we have to go in currency custom and we will name it in dollars, and we don't want any decimal points, and we will name it as in thousands. Okay, so we have got this, and now just click on year on year sales. So it will be activated. You can see format aggregate year on year sales. All right, and in numbers we will go in percentage. Okay, so we need it in percentage. The next thing what we want to add here is, if you can see, we want a up arrow and down arrow. So this indicates whether it is a positive sales or negative sales. If it is positive, it will go up. So not sales in positive year on year increase percentage, so it will go up, and if it is negative, it will go down. So when it will be positive, if sales are greater in this year with respect to last year, then it will be going up, and if it is down, it will go negative. Okay, so for that, what we have to do, we have to write a calculation. But before that, the shapes which we are using here, those are not available in Tableau, so we have to bring those from Excel. Okay, so I will just click open Excel and I will choose a blank workbook and I will go in insert and symbols. Okay, we have to go in insert symbols, and here you have to go in symbol, and here in Arial font you have to find. If you don't find, you have to find, you have to take some effort for here. So I will just click on this and I will click on insert, and I will click on this and I will click on insert close. Okay, so you can see I will just copy this and we will go back to our workbook, and for this we have to write a calculation. So I will write a calculation that is nothing but year on year indicator. Okay, so I will name it as year on year sales indicator. Okay, and we need to write a calculation for this. If year on year sales, if it is greater than 0, so if it is positive, then we want this. Okay, so we will mention it in double quotes. So it should be up arrow if it is positive, else if it is negative, we want it as down, right? and we will end this. So it is valid, so we'll just click on OK and we will bring it into text. Okay, so we have got an upper indicator, and then this we will go ahead and change our font. Okay, so let's go. So I will just control X and we will mention it over here, and we'll give one small space and we'll click on apply. Okay, all right. So we can see our sales KPI has been designed. So first KPI it will take some effort for us. Now next is very much easy to design because we know what is the procedure. We have already we have already taken the colors as well. So I will just right click and duplicate this, and I will name it as profit KPI. All right. So this is profit KPI. Now we will using the same calculations. I will use the same calculation. So I will just duplicate this and I will edit this. So here what we want, this is nothing but it will be total current year profit. All right. So profit, and if year of order date is equal to maximum, then we want profit here. All right. And we will just click on OK. So we have got our profit. Similarly, we will change it for last year as well. So I will just duplicate this and I will edit this, and we just want it for previous year. All right, and here we will just add a -1. Okay, and we'll just click on OK. All right, the next we want to find out its year on year profit. So I will just duplicate this, edit this, and we will name it as year on year profit. Okay, and here just we want, instead of sales we want your profit, so we will just change these values and we want it here profit. So year on year profit. All right, so we will just click on OK, and the next thing what we want is, oh, so just rename this, it is profit. All right, then year on year sales has been done. Now we want indicator, so I will just duplicate this as well and I will edit this, and it is what, the profit indicator. All right, and instead of sales we want here year on year profit. Click on OK. Perfect. So now we will design our KPI fast. So we want the current year profit. So we will just take this and we will place it over here. Okay, on this. And you can see the number has been changed. All right. Then we want year on year profit. We will take this and we will put it on year on year sales. We have got our number. Similarly, we will take the year on year profit indicator and we will place it over. Because it is positive, so it will be in up arrow only itself. All right. And now what we will do, we will change the number formatting. So I will just right click and choose format, and we will format the sum of profit. So I will just go here and currency custom, and we will change it to dollars, and we don't want any decimal points and we want to show it in thousands. Okay. Similarly for this, on year profit, make sure it is here, and we will show it as a percentage. Perfect. So our KPI for profit is also designed. And next thing what guys, if we can see, we are seeing here a tooltip. So the tooltip indicator is same whatever we are showing in KPI. So we don't want a tooltip we don't want a tooltip over here because we are showing already it into visualization. So I will just off here tooltips. Okay. Similarly for here, I will go in tooltip and you just have to uncheck this box. Okay. Perfect. So we'll again duplicate this and we will be designing it as for quantity KPI. All right. The next thing what we have to do is we have to follow the same procedure again. So instead of current year, I will just duplicate this and I will edit this and we will writing it for quantity. Okay. And instead of profit here, we want quantity and we'll just click on OK. Similarly, we will duplicate it again for previous year calculation. So we will name it as previous year. Right. And we want it to be for -1. All right. And we will just click on OK. The next thing is we want a year on year quantity. So it's not edit. First we will duplicate this and then we will edit this, and here we want year on year quantity. Okay, and instead of profit here we will take it as quantity. So I'm doing it fast guys, but you know I've already explained it to you for sales, so it will be easy for you. If it is very fast, you can pause the video and you can do it, right? So I will just click on OK, and I will just change the indicator as well. So this is for profits. I will make it for quantity, and instead of this I will just quantity, and I will just click. So no, we have to first duplicate this. Okay, and we will edit this, and we will name it as quantity, and here we will use this as quantity. All right, so we will just click on OK. So now if here it is current year profit, so we will take here current year quantity and we will place it over here. So we have got the value. Similarly, year on year quantity we will place it over here, and year on year quantity indicator we will place it on here. All right, so it is increasing, so it will give us the same arrow. So now instead, now here also we have left to remain in profit tab. We will change the name. We don't want here sales, we want it as profit. Okay, we'll just click on OK. Similarly here as well, we will change it, and we will name it as quantity. Okay, and now we will quickly format our numbers. So I will just click on format, and we will change the currency custom, but we don't want it into dollars because quantity is never in dollars. So we will mention it in numbers, and we don't want any decimal points, and we will display it in K. All right. And similarly for this, we will make it in percentage for year on year percentage. So I'll make it in percentage. Perfect. So we have designed our all three KPIs. The next thing which we have to design is the sparklines. Now to build the sparkline, we will take a new sheet, and let's name the new sheet as sales sparkline. All right. So now Sparkline is nothing but it is a trend over month, a trend over year. Okay, and it will be represented in the form of line, right? So how the trend is there, right? It is very much common in share markets. You might have known that. So here what we will be doing, we will be showing the Sparklines trend for current year and last year, or previous year, right? And it will be showing for the latest year, right? So for current year, it is nothing from January to December by 2022, and for last year or previous year it will be for 2021. So for that, what we will take order date into rows. All right, we will take it into columns, and then we will convert it into month, and we will convert it into continuous, right? And the next thing what we will take measure values, right? We have measure values, we will take it into rows, and we don't want all the measure values. We just want current year sales and current year previous year sales. So I will just double click on these measure values, and first we will say none, and then we will want current year sales, and then we want previous year sales, and just click on apply. Okay, right? The next thing what we have to do, we have to take these measures and we have to put it into colors. So I will just, and it should not go from filters as well. So I will press control and drag it and put it into colors. Press control, right? And so you can see we have got a beautiful sparkline over here, and here these are actually the month numbers. So to convert it into proper months, I will just right click, I will click on format, and then we have to go in axis. Okay, and in axis we have to change the date to full name. All right, so you can see we have got the full name over here. Perfect. The next thing what we will be doing here is we will be changing the color with respect to our color codes. So I will just double click over here, and the color code which we will be using is for Sparkline for current year we will be using as this. So I will just copy this and double click on here, and we will change this color code. So I will just control V, and I will click on OK and apply. All right. And for the previous year we will be using as this. So we will press Control C and double click over here, and we will change this. Control V. Okay. Apply. All right. So now this is what this is a current year, and this is for last year. And from this, a customer knows like how their business is performing sale wise for each month, right? So you can see there are one peak. So this is the highest peak where largest sales is done, and this is the lowest one where the lowest sales is done in that particular year for that particular month. All right. And now the next thing what we have to do is we have to highlight these points, right? That is maximum and minimum of that particular month in that particular year for sales. So now to do that, we have to write one more calculation. So the maximum and minimum is nothing but if I show you in this dashboard. these points we have to highlight, right? So these are the minimum and the maximum points. Okay, so we will go back to our report and we will write one calculation for this, and I will name it as min max month. Okay, and here I will be writing a calculation. So if sum of total current year sales, okay, because we want to do it for only current year sales, we are not doing it for last year sales. If this is equal to window max, I will be using a window max function, window max total, or we can say sum of total current year sales. Okay, if, see what this condition give us is if sum of sales is equal to window max. What window max? Window is nothing but this is the window for us in the visualization, right? So this total window, that is from January to December, all the sale is a window for us, and from that it will give us the maximum sum of sales. So it will give us this point. Okay, so if sales is equal to this maximum value, that is in that particular window, this value, then what we want output as sales, right? That is sum of sales. Okay, if it is matching, then we want to display the sum of total current year sales. Okay, then else if we want second condition, same condition we will be using for minimum. Okay, so control C, I will press your control V. So instead of maximum, just we will be using your minimum. Okay, so one value we will be getting for maximum and one value we will get for minimum. But for all other values, we want it as null. Okay, we don't want to display all other values, so we will mention it as null and we will end this calculation. All right, and you can see it is valid, and the default table calculation it will be table across, right? So table across is nothing but if you follow my cursor, this is across. Okay, this is across, and we will just click on OK, and I will bring this and I will place it over here. All right, so now you can see we have found 2 points, that is maximum and minimum points, and I will just hide this indicator for now. We don't want that indicator. Now what we have to do, we have to bring it on this particular line. So what we have to do, we have to make it as dual axis. So right click and make it as dual axis. We can see these points have been highlighted, but before that what we have to do, we have to synchronize axis. So always remember, whenever you are using a dual axis, so just click on here, so it should be ticked, right? So we have to click on synchronize axis. All right, the next thing what we will be doing is then we will increase the size of this particular point. So I will just increase the point size. All right, so we can see these points are now pretty visible. So just make it a little bit bigger more. All right, so these are now perfect size which we have, and now we want to give different colors for this. All right, so now for colors, for we already have the major names which we have put into this particular thing or marks card. We want it to remove from this particular thing, so I will just remove this. And then what we will do, we will take the minimum and maximum of month. So press control, it should not go from here, so it will make one more instance of that and put it into colors. All right, so now we have here color, so we will just quickly edit this, and we want the step colors, and we want just 2 steps, and we want our own color, so we will go ahead and make it custom diverging. Okay, and we have the colors which already in our sheet. So for maximum we will be using as this color, control C, and I will use for maximum this, that is this color. So control V. Okay, and for minimum we will be using this color. So control C, and I will edit this and I will name it as control V. Okay, okay, apply. Okay, so we have got these 2 colors, right? And what more we want is while designing this, guys, I have used some different colors. My dashboard is already prepared with some different colors. So if you see mismatch in these 2 dashboard, I am using my own colors. You can use your own colors, whatever you want. And we want 80% of opacity for this. So I will just go in colors. Okay, you have to go in colors, and here we have opacity, and I will make it as 80%. Okay, and I will just click enter. Okay, so you can see our these points have been what we can say mentioned over here. The next what we will do, we don't want this axis, so just we will uncheck this header and just we will right click and we will uncheck this header as well. All right, the next thing we can see, we want to what we can say mention our tooltip in a proper way. So what we will do, first we will just off this tooltip, okay, for both the marks card which we have here, and for this as well I will just turn off this, and we will go in our all part, and for here we will be using our tooltips, right? So we want the month, but we don't want this particular thing. So next what we want is we want the sales value, and we want here the current year and previous year sales value. So what first we will do, we will take the total current year sales and we will put into details for all marks, right? Don't put it into this particular measure value and min max month. Then we will take the total previous year sales, total previous year sales. Where is it? Yeah, and we will put it into details. Okay, then we will go into our tooltip, or instead of that you can put it in tooltip also. So just to take it and put it in tooltip. Okay, and now we will format our tooltip. So we will just don't want this, we don't want this as well. Okay, so this is what we want, and we will change it to 9 and make it as Tableau semi bold, and we will use this as the color. Okay, I'm using this color, so this is the color code for this. If you want, you can copy and type in, you can look and type into your system as well. I will just click on OK. So you can see it's looking nice. So this is the tooltip which we will be using for all the Sparklines. All right. So always remember, whenever you are designing any dashboard, tooltips plays a very important role, right? So whenever you are hovering over your mouse, you should mention the reader like what that particular point or that particular uh, what we can say particular label in that, or that point or line in that particular chart gives us a value, right? Give us the output. So this is important. The next thing what we have to do, we have to design the same spark lines for quantity as well as for profit. So I will just right click here and I will duplicate this, and I will name it as, instead of sales, we will name it as profit. Okay, we will name it as profit sparkline, and just remove this. So what we will do, so for now I will just remove this because we will have to design it separately for profit. So I will just remove it from here, and in here for measure values, we will just double click over here, and we don't want sales, so I will just uncheck over here, and we want current year profit and we want previous year profit. So I will just apply. Okay, so we have got our current year profit and previous year profit, and we just have to change the colors over here again. So quickly I will change the color, and for maximum we want, so for current year I will be using this. Apply. Okay. Okay, so we have got our things right now, and the tooltip which we have here, it is for current year sales. So we will just remove this. We don't want sales over here, we want profit. So I will take total current year current year profit, and we will take total previous year profit. Okay, so now you can see, uh, and tooltip, we have to remove it from here, and just we will add it here, total current year profit and total previous year profit, right? And we will make it as 9, we'll make it as W semi bold, and we want the color as this. Okay, got it. And we will quickly change the name here, that is total current year profit, and we will name it as total previous year profit. Okay, profit, right? So these are the values, and the next thing what we want to do here is we have to add the minimum and maximum points over here. All right, so we already have this calculation. We will just duplicate it for this is for sales, so we'll just name it for minimum, maximum, not month, it is sales. Okay, and we will just rename this as well, and okay, just we will edit this. I will just right click and edit this, and we will name it as profit. All right, and instead of sales, what we have to change here, guys, we just have to change your profit. Okay, so remember, we are going to change the calculation, and we will just change the measures over here. Okay, so we just want your profit. I will quickly change this. So whenever I feel like we are repeating the steps, I will just quickly skip, or I will fast forward this. All right, so I will just click on OK. Then I will bring this into visualize. Okay, so now you can see we have got here line. So for this, so we have to go into this marks card over here, and instead of this automatic, what we will be doing here, we will change it to circle. Okay, so we want here as a dark circle. So the next one thing what we have to do, we have to bring it into dual axis. I will just right click and make it as a dual axis. Okay, and then see, you can see the points are not perfectly matching over here, so we have to just right click and synchronize these axes, right? So synchronize axis is very much important, guys, don't forget that. And the next thing what we will be doing here is we will just remove this color from here, and we will take this and we will put it into colors, and same colors we have to give it here again, guys. So I will just skip this step. Fast forward, I will do it the fast forward. I will just, okay, so now we have completed the profit sparkline. So after doing a profit sparkline, we will follow the same steps for quantity as well. Okay, so first I will just reduce this size a little bit. Sorry, not this. And we will change it for here. Okay, this is fine. So now we will just duplicate this and we will name it as quantity sparkline. All right. So now same thing. I will just remove this from here, and I will remove this as well. So we will mention the tooltip later. All right. And now next thing what we have to do here is we will have to change this measure values. I will just double click. So it was for profit. So we will name it for quantities. So current year quantity and previous year quantity. Click on apply. Okay. All right. So now again I will just quickly change the color. So I will fast forward this. All right, so now we have changed the color. Same, we will be using same color codes which we have used for sales and profit sparklines. The next what we will do, we will have to write one more calculation to find out the maximum points for and minimum points for quantity sparkline. So just we will duplicate this calculation again, and I will edit this and I will name it as minimum and max. So here by mistakenly I have written here maximum. I will just name it as minimum. Okay, so this is maximum for us and this is minimum for us. I will just click on apply. Okay, and we will change the opacity to 80%. All right. So for profit, I guess we need to change the opacity here as well. We will change it to 80%. Perfect. So we have designed all our spark lines. The next thing what we have to do is we have to bring all these elements which we have designed into our dashboard, which we can see here. So this will be the part one of the video. In next part, what we will do, we will start designing our background. We will bring this background, then we will start placing our elements into this particular what we can say dashboard. That is the banner which we have designed right now. All elements we have designed, and we will also see the design of these other elements. So if you have like till now, if you have learned something, so like the video, subscribe the channel, and I will add the second part of this video into the link into the description box. Thank you, guys.